Hi, Tabitha.
Hi.
My name is Josh. I'm a social worker at Fort Hays State University. And I'm here to talk to you today and see how we can support you with some of the issues that you've been facing. Okay.
Great.
So we're going to talk for about 15 minutes today. I'm just going to get a background and just kind of basic understanding about what's been going on. Everything we say here is confidential. I do have to let you know I'm a mandated reporter. So everything I say, everything's confidential. But as long as you're not in danger or no one else is in danger, everything you say stays between you and I. So, why don't you tell me a little bit about what's going on?
I've been having some really significant problems with chronic pain and navigating our ridiculous healthcare system with it. I've faced numerous obstacles in getting the care and getting help, seeing doctors, getting medication, having health insurance, and there's really just no options at certain levels, especially if you are having different life changes or you have other circumstances going on. It's a bit ridiculous how the system kind of traps you into certain situations, and it's really difficult to deal with and drives the person crazy after so long.
That makes perfect sense. What kind of issues are you having with the system?
Which one? All of them are. From getting health insurance has been a nightmare. We're in the middle of a life change, and while we can afford to pay for health insurance ourselves, apparently the system doesn't let you buy health insurance if you have no income, because you're changing careers and doing a lot of other life just events, and even if you can afford it, you can't get health care coverage unless you have to get Medicaid. And then Medicaid is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. And then when you have chronic pain and chronic health issues, paying out of pocket is absurd. It's just overwhelming. And
so you've been having issues sort of navigating the system.
Yes, it's a nightmare. We can't buy private insurance because healthcare.gov is based off your income. And based on our income, we have to have Medicaid. But with Medicaid, you can only have 30 visits to doctors in the entire year. And if you are in pain management and seeing other specialists, you blow through those like that. And they're like, oh well, now you can't see a person with significant health issues. Isn't Medicaid great? But then they won't let you buy anything else. And they're like, I guess you just have to pay out of pocket. So the system gives you no options. If you don't have the financial resources and you have too many health issues, you're SOL.
Yeah. I can definitely hear the frustration in your voice. So you do have Medicaid right now. You do have coverage.
I don't know if you're getting paid. But
That's fine.
I had coverage.
This session is free of charge.
Oh, great. Well, even more like that. Wish Medicaid would cover it, because can't get help for mental health. Even if you can find a therapist locally that accepts Medicaid, they have a long waiting list. There's not many options, especially for mental health therapy. You can't find a psychiatrist that can prescribe half the medications you need if you're ADHD or anything else. You can't find counselors who accept it to get weekly sessions, and then you are given like 10 weekly sessions a year as if that's enough therapy to help somebody who is in the throes of financial and life changes that's not allowed to get regular health care. It's a cycle that keeps somebody trapped without any resources.
Do you work?
I take care of my kids full time and homeschool and run a business on the side.
What kind of business do you have on the side?
Farming corporation. We
Oh,
manage and lease farmland.
that's interesting.
Yeah.
How's that going?
Very stressful, so try just not to think about it.
So, you mentioned that you have chronic pain. That's correct?
And debilitating, yes.
I'm very sorry to hear that. So, you're trying to navigate all of these systems and homeschooling your children and running a business and managing a household, all while dealing with debilitating pain. That must be incredibly difficult. And I'm very sorry that you're going through that. You mentioned anxiety earlier. Are you feeling any depression because of these things?
Absolutely. When you get to the point of such frustration and feeling so hopeless, of course depression sets in. I think most people in similar situations would. But can't get prescription. I guess you can get prescriptions, but you can't get therapy to go with it. So it's just medicate the problems away or deal with them. And those aren't very good options either.
Yeah. With all the things that you've got going on, the anxiety and the depression and the health issues and the pain, does that bring about any thoughts of self-harm or suicide, or are you?
Well, sometimes absolutely it'd be easier just to not feel all the pain. And there's sometimes when it hurts really bad that I sit and I think I just don't want to do it anymore. That this is just too much, it's too overwhelming, and it's too painful and just really not worth it.
Of course, you've got so much going on that makes sense. Have you taken any action recently to harm yourself?
No, not recently.
I'm very glad to hear that. I'm sorry. That's just something that I need to ask for safety. Make sure that you're okay and you're safe. So we're going to talk more about these issues, and we're going to try to come up with some goals and some things that you can do to hopefully make life a little bit more manageable for you. Does that sound good to you?
Sounds great.
What would you say right now is your most immediate, most pressing cause of anxiety? If you had to pick one thing that you could attack right now, what would it be?
That I could attack? Because my number one would probably be the pain, but that's a whole other story. I don't know how we would attack that. So something we could attack would possibly be my workload or my commitments or things that are actually actionable, because I don't think my pain so far seems to really have anything, unless you got an insight with another doctor who can fix this up. I don't know what we're going to do with the pain.
Believe me, I wish I did. I wish I did. My job would be a lot easier if I did.
I guess getting on a heating pad right away ends a lot of the anxiety, so there's a coping mechanism, but I don't know if it's one to survive with.
Do non-medicinal treatments like heat, ice, things like that, maybe stretches or
massages,
yes.
There's lots of non-medicinal and medicinal ways to relieve it. It's just it never goes away completely. So even though I get some relief and it feels a lot better, the annoying part is that it's always still there, nagging at me. And even when I refocus my brain, do other things, function through, push through, and treat it, it stays there. And nothing relieves it enough to make it.
That makes sense. That sounds terrible. So, Tabitha, are you married?
I am.
How are things at home with your husband? Is he supportive?
He does his absolute best he can to try and be supportive and try and help however he can. And it gets frustrating, I'm sure, for him too, having to carry a lot of the extra weight that he never had to carry and having to have a lot of extra time and energy spent on things that he shouldn't have to focus on because of where I'm at physically, that I should be taken care of for just, equal distribution in the workload and in the household. And so it's frustrating on everybody just not being able to do what you need to do, but then also having to do a lot more than what you should have to be able to do.
Does that make you feel guilty?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. That sounds really hard. Do you have any other supports in place?
I do. I have a cat that you see coming to meow at me right now. Cats are very good with emotional support.
So you have an emotional support cat, it seems.
Yes, she is very concerned about me whenever I'm distressed and comes running if she feels she needs to support me. So that's a perfect example of my emotional support.
Must have picked up on your anxiety. Are you anxious about the session at all?
And it's always anxious starting with new discussions and talking about how you feel. It's always a difficult task. Part of the problem with the system is if you can't stay consistently with somebody, you have to start new. And lots of students will come in and offer sessions, but they only offer sessions for so long, and then they graduate, and then they no longer take Medicaid. And it's wonderful for them, but also another problem with the system. This goes right back into it.
Do you have any coping strategies that you use to deal with this anxiety, or
some grounding techniques, some breathing? I try and rub my belly sometimes just to refocus when I get really distressed, and pat my head. No, I'm just kidding. Well, actually it does. It takes a lot of concentration. So if you are really upset, it does actually help in a way that you should try it sometime if you ever get distressed.
I'll have to remember that one.
But there's, I think relaxing at the end of the evening when I'm getting bad is a big coping one. Just sometimes decompressing and mindlessly scrolling my phone for a little bit just kind of refocuses off the stress and the energy of life in general and takes away from the responsibilities.
Sure. I mean, that makes perfect sense. Do you have any hobbies, anything you like to do that helps take your mind off of things? Or even listening to music, taking a walk?
Don't do any of those things anymore, but I used to do those things, and they were very nice.
Does your pain keep you from taking walks?
Yes, and loudness at the house keeps me from listening to music because I like quiet now when I drive. That's where it's the most time you listen to music. I still enjoy music. It's not that I just don't listen to music anymore, really, except on road trips. My husband likes listening to music on road trips, and I have a really good playlist, so that part's nice. Go ahead.
You mentioned kids earlier. I guess with homeschooling, you're around your children all the time, which has got to be amazing in a lot of ways. But I would imagine that that's a lot of input. That's a lot of stimuli. That's a lot of stimulation all the time.
Especially when you have chronic pain and you have to be keeping up with them. Luckily, they're at an age where I don't have to chase them like when they were toddlers for safety reasons. But then, unluckily, they're at an age where they demand so much all the time. I guess even toddlers do that, but at least I'm not having to chase them down when they're demanding it. They can come to my bedroom while they're demanding it. So, things are looking up.
So you've got 2 kids that are homeschooled, you've got a business, you've got chronic pain, you've got a Medicaid system that's incredibly difficult to navigate, anxiety and depression that's going along with it.
99 problems, but a cat ain't one.
Well, at least you're funny. You still have your sense of humor.
I think she's coming back possibly to meet out with me somewhere. So.
There she is. Well,
anyway,
I think that we have a few options. I want to deal. Obviously, I want to get you some resources to help navigate the Medicaid system. There are resources available to sort of help guide you through it and hopefully facilitate things. And Kat is doing interesting things over there. To hopefully make things a little bit easier for you, but I definitely want to address the anxiety and depression, because I think that anytime you've got anxiety, anxiety alone can make problems so much worse than they are. And then
panic attacks are never fun for anyone.
Do you get panic attacks a lot?
Not as much anymore, or sometimes. I wouldn't say frequently, but I wouldn't say rarely either. Somewhere happy middle.
Well, I definitely think that therapy would be a good option for you, individual or even group with.
Gotta have an audience for my jokes.
Even group, I think would be a good option because there are a lot of people that are in similar situations with health issues and difficulty navigating the system. It's a far too common problem.
Very frustrating.
Yes, it is, and I want to make sure that you've got all the support you need. So next time we talk, I want to go over. I want to spend some time talking more about these options. But for this session, I really just wanted to get a background. Where I wanted to introduce myself, let you know what it is that we do. I want to get a background and get your story and figure out exactly what's going on with you. I feel like I've got a pretty good idea of what we can work with now. I hope that you're. Are you wanting to move forward with another session so we can talk more about these things?
I think want and need are a different thing, but since I need to.
No one wants to be in this position, right?
Precisely.
You don't want to be sitting here talking to me.
You're a pretty nice fella so far.
Well, I can be, but I really I want to help get you into a much better place, or at least a much more manageable place. And we're going to talk a lot more about that in our next session. So with that, do you have any questions for me?
so.
Okay.
Not off the top of my head.
Okay. Yeah. Pretty straightforward.
Yep. You explained it very well.
Thank you. Tabitha, I'm very sorry that you're going through all this, but I really hope that we, and I really think that we can get you to a much more manageable place. And I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. And we'll get you scheduled for another session. And I'm so glad you came in. We will talk. I'll get with scheduling, get you set up, and we'll talk again later. Okay?
All right, sounds good.
It was so good to meet you. I hope you have a great night.
Great to meet you too.
All right, thank you.